Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the most amazing fractals that I have ever found that is going to map out all of the last bull runs in crypto over the last 8 years, and it's going to explain why the next bull run that we're going to have for crypto is going to be the biggest one yet, and why anybody that's positioned themselves accordingly is going to set themselves up to make a financial fortune in just a few years. If you're new and just find this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos like the one provided for you here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and with that being said, let's jump right into it today. Alrighty guys, so the fractal I want to talk to you guys about today is going to be mapping out the total altcoin market cap and really talking about our first cycle, the bear market we went through, and then this first higher high that led to our 2017 alt season. Because what we're seeing is, in my opinion, the exact same fractal that's playing out on the dollar. It's just happening on a much bigger time frame. Now, first things first, guys, what we're going to talk about is how it applies to the dollar. Now, the part that we're going to be talking about with the dollar is this move over here. And it was really this first cycle for crypto, and this is where altcoins first came around. And we can see here that the dollar had been in this downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs. And as we accumulated sideways from the 2008 financial crisis up to about 2014, this is when the dollar first started to really break out again. And it was in this move here, when the dollar started to break out, that Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market, specifically altcoins, were in their first bear market, right? Now, the big point that we're going to be talking about right here is this pattern that was created when we first broke out. This was the dollar's first breakout after this multi-year accumulation, and I want to show you guys how it applies to what we're seeing today inside of the altcoins. Now, we broke out, and this was the bear market and kind of the accumulation for cryptos. And notice here how when the dollar kind of made this topping pattern, this is kind of a Wyckoff pattern, right? Except it's happening at a bearish reversal point. Notice this pattern, how we make a high, we sell off, we find support here. We rally back up, retest those highs, get rejected, come back down, retest support again, and then we make one more attempt at a breakout. We actually clear the previous high's resistance, except it ends up being a bull trap, and then we come and sell off back down. And notice here, guys, if we're looking at this chart, as we went through this kind of consolidation range, and at the very end of that range, when we retested the top of this high, and we came back down for one more kind of fake out, that was where we got our first higher high into this altcoin trend. And then as we rallied back up and we made this fake bull trap, and then that was kind of what led us to this breakdown of this entire range here. And so it was the breakdown from this entire consolidation up here at the range high at 104 that led to our 2017 alt run, right? And so it was this entire pattern that I want you guys to pay attention for and what we're going to be talking about today. And I kind of just like to look at it as almost like a W, except the top of the W extends, and that's kind of what leads us into what we're seeing today inside of our cycle. And so this sell-off here was what created the 2017 bull run, right? This entire 2017 bull run was created off of this sell-off inside of the dollar. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about today is how similar the dollar looks compared to what we saw, inside of that 2015 to 2016 consolidation. And really, I would consider 2015 to about 2018. This consolidation is almost the exact same consolidation that we're in today. Because what we're looking at inside of the dollar is no different than what we've been in. I mean, we just went through record inflation. The Federal Reserve printed tons and tons of dollars. And so we know that historically, whenever there's record inflation, the dollar is generally going to go down. And we've kind of been in a period where even though we've had record inflation, the dollar has actually uptrended. And it has a lot to do with the fact that many of the markets pulled back. A lot of the equity markets pulled back. All of the markets pretty much pulled back for the most part. Crypto pulled back, equities pulled back, the commodities pulled back. Everything kind of sold off as there was a lot of fear, and then that's kind of when everybody ushered into the dollar, and we've seen the dollar breaking out. We've always kind of wondered why the dollar was breaking out, even though, we know that the record inflation is here. We know that, we're pretty much in a recession, and so people have kind of been questioning themselves, why is the dollar continuing to break out? And I believe that the dollar is breaking out because it's ultimately completing a big picture cycle top. The dollar has been trending up since 2008, since the financial crisis. And when we're looking at the dollar, this is very obviously completed almost 5 waves up, and we're inside of wave 5. Whether we extend for one more higher high or whether the top is now, I'm not really trying to talk about that. What we're looking at is a big picture cycle top for the dollar. In the same way that this was, and it led to this big crash, in the same way this was, and it led to this big crash. This is going to end up being the exact same thing because nothing changes in the fundamental view of the dollar. It's still going to continue to go down. Now more than ever, there's more of a reason for the dollar to go down with record inflation, more countries banding together to create somewhat of an alternative against the dollar and to back the oil trade against something else besides the dollar. So we're seeing a lot of stuff that's going to ultimately impact the dollar in a negative way. And what we're looking at with the crypto total market cap is something that is amazing because what we're setting up for in crypto is truly life-changing gains. And I've really tried hard to make this a big point to get through to your guys' heads, but a lot of people have a hard time understanding it because at the end of the day, you know, emotions are tough. It's really hard to get a grasp of your emotions when you're investing into a market, especially what's one as volatile as crypto. But what we're looking at here, guys, is this same exact pattern. So this first higher high that we made inside of the altcoin total market cap, this move was when we retested the previous all-time highs of a prior cycle, right? We consolidated, we made a retest of these prior highs, and then the second that we topped inside of this pattern and made a lower low, that was what created the 2017 alt craze. And if we're looking at this exact same pattern playing out once again, as we're extending into this exact same move, we're breaking out of resistance, I believe that this is going to once again kind of play out and sell off, and we'll have a big crash on the way back down. And we'll do the same thing that we've kind of done here and over there in the first and the beginning. And so if we're going to end up creating the same pattern, what we're looking at today inside of the total altcoin market cap is almost the exact same pattern as when we first broke out in 2016. This first higher high into this new trend. As we first broke out, made our first impulse here, retested the previous highs of the last cycle, that's what created this 2017 move. And we're doing the same thing today. From COVID, this was where we bottomed here. This is as the dollar topped, we started to sell off, and we see that the entire crypto market actually broke out and went to a new all-time high. And it created this exact same move that we saw here. We rally up, make a new all-time high, kind of consolidate above those highs, and then we go parabolic. The same thing is playing out once again. The only difference is we just haven't gone parabolic yet. And so when we're seeing the dollar is extending so high, we broke out of all of our resistance, but we're looking at it and it's in a major downtrend. We're looking at 5 impulse waves to the upside of a completed cycle, and we're looking at crypto retesting a previous all-time high in the same way that it did in 2016 before that major 2017 bull run. I believe that that is what is coming up for us next inside of our next cycle. The next crypto cycle is going to behave similar to that 2017 one where we get this very big, expansive move to the upside. It's a very euphoric type of cycle. We're going to have to wait and see once we actually get there, but I believe that that is what the charts are actually telling us. And when we're looking at this, it's creating this exact same sort of pattern here. And what we're doing, we're just waiting for the completion of this cycle top. Once the dollar gets a completed top in here, whether we extend a little bit higher or whether it's right now, like I stated, it really doesn't matter. When we get another cycle top, in the same way that this cycle was, where this sell-off created our entire 2017 bull run, I think that our consolidation is the exact same. The difference is where we're at is right here. We're at the very top of this resistance, just waiting on top of those previous all-time highs, waiting for us to top out so that the crypto markets can finally go parabolic again. And we're in the same exact move once again here today. Nothing has changed. The only difference is we're just at a higher price. There's more money inside of the markets, and so it takes more time to ultimately create the same patterns. But once again, guys, we're retesting a previous all-time high of the last cycle. Many people kind of question, including myself, why our last bull run wasn't quite as parabolic as this 2017 one. And the reason why is simply because it takes more time to move that same amount of money. It's not going to just immediately shoot up and go 1000x into new all-time highs. As far as the total altcoin market cap goes, it's going to take more time to ultimately create the same type of moves. And so if we're going to see this same parabolic rally into new all-time highs, into a major price discovery, then we would expect that it would play out in the same way. And what's interesting to me is how closely related the price action is between both of these. And if we get a major cycle top that plays out in the same way that it did over here, where we start selling off, guys, we're looking at another bull run. It's no different than all of the other bull runs that have played out for us here. This right here was the beginning of our 2017 bull run. This was the bottom of our 2020 bear market right there. And now, once this tops out here, once again at resistance, we're going to have another one of these. And I think that it's going to create a 2016, 2017 bull run because of the way that the cycles look. This pretty much looks exactly the same as our first impulse in here. The only main difference is the fact that, let me select it. The only main difference here is the amount of time that it's taking, right? This higher high into price discovery is the same as this one. And what we're going to get ready for is this big, expansive move into price discovery. So anyways, guys, I hope I explained this thoroughly enough. I wanted to kind of go and repeat myself multiple times so that everybody gets an idea of what I'm trying to explain. You know, a lot of this stuff can be confusing, which is why I like to help map it out in an easy to understand way. You know, if you guys found value in this, make sure you guys do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing. It really helps out the channel. If you guys want to ultimately find more value inside of my Discord server, what I do with my money, how I'm investing it, different investments that I'm going into, long, short opportunities, NFT picks, all of that fun stuff, it's all going to get posted inside of my private Discord. And so if you guys find value in what I do here on YouTube and you want to be able to get more, you want to be able to follow everything that I'm doing with my portfolio, then there's going to be links in the description to go ahead and actually sign up on my website. You guys can also find some cool free stuff inside of the description, like my ebook. That's just going to teach you guys a lot of basics that are going to really go over how to be more profitable inside of the markets, teach you guys some of the things like that. So if you guys found value, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, hit the notification bell. And with that being said, I will catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.